I'm running on a very watered down iced coffee and a dream, baby. Hello, editing Nikki here. I'm making a quick little intro to this. If you're not interested, timestamps are below. But I needed to kind of, talk about this video, what it's about, because originally this was going to be part of the previous video I just posted, which will be up here and in the description box. This is a video where I'm setting up some spreads in my bullet journal common planner, like the common planner that I'm using as a bullet journal. And I'm really happy of how they turned out. The video was kind of chaotic because a lot of things ended up happening, including like the power of my camera going out and then my brother yelling, "Hasta la vista, baby." So yeah, like my family's just like me. So yeah, I just wanted to preface the video with that, and I hope you enjoy. I talk about a lot of things, so let me know what you think of it. Go get your journal, and someone's interrupting me again. Bye! Let's get into decorations. Let's put this to the side because this is going in, all of this is going into my common planner, which is kind of like my Bujo. And then all I'm putting in here is this on the first day of January. I feel like I never really had a use for them. I never really did anything with these pages, but I think it's okay. I feel like this isn't the right size. Yeah, well, I'm not going to print it out again, so I think it looks nice here. I actually am thinking of ordering the subscription that Sterling Ink has. I actually signed up to get the subscription, but I signed up too late to get the January one, so I'm going to see if I can purchase it when they restock or they put whatever was overflow that they have on their website. So I'm going to put this January 2023. Excellent. I think it looks really nice. I like to cut the edges because I don't like the fact that my paper is not this off-white color. I could probably buy some off-white paper, but I don't see why I would do that. Frankly, I think that's kind of a lot of money for a very niche thing, especially if I'm going to be cutting out pieces of it. I don't know. That was all I'm going to do here, and when I get the things that I want to set this planner up, I will film that as well, so stay tuned for that. I don't think I'm gonna be a planner channel. I do have to admit though, I like not having to show my face or get ready and talk about things kind of stream of consciousness. I feel when it comes to this sort of thing, it's more casual for me and I feel a bit more comfortable. So I did actually set this up originally. If you watch my original video, I set this area up, this bookshelf, for my 2023 books. However, I decided, because mentally I just can't get over the fact that I have December here, that I'm gonna actually put my 2022 books here. I'm gonna fill that out after I finish these things, and I haven't done my fave books of 2022 either. I have to print that out, but I feel once I go through them all, I'll know what my favorite 2022 books are. So I feel since I've already kind of messed up, quote unquote, in this planner, I feel a lot less pressure to make it perfect. I'm just doing my best. So this is actually going to be my favorite books of 2022 since I didn't keep a reading journal this year. I think it's a good homage to it that I can reference it. Let's just start with the setup. I actually love this ranking thing that I ended up doing through Instagram, and I started planning it out, but then I got really frustrated. So I'm just gonna write in what goes in each one. I actually don't know what I'm gonna do for March and whatever, but I put 12 lines, and then it's kind of a battle to the death, the World Cup, but for the books I read this year. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel there were no standout books this year, and I don't know if it's because I just don't have any record of what I read this year, but I just feel nothing excited me that much. And I feel things that excited me, then I get it unexcited for because of other things that happened. And I feel books I was really excited about ended up disappointing, or I just couldn't get into it. I feel I've just been in a weird reading mood, especially the later half of the year, which sucks. Oh, that's not far enough. Was that too far? I don't know. This is very tedious. I regret not just printing out the one that I use for Instagram. I'll show the one that I use and who made it. They might make another one that's for Instagram stories for 2023, but the good thing is that I kind of already filled this out earlier. Oh no, that was crooked. Yikes. Okay. Hehe. Should I use my stamps? I don't think so. I just don't feel like using them right now. It's like very tedious to like do it, and then like I always put in like the letters the wrong side. So let's just do like a normal, this brush. Actually, like my favorite brush to like write headings with is actually the Tombow Furonesque soft tip, but I lost it and I ordered like a 4-pack more of them because I do really like them, but I only had one and I lost it, so this might not be so pretty. I hate the number 2. It's such a hard number. 20, 22. Oh, that was ugly. It's okay. I feel like probably there's other numbers that are harder to write, but since like we've been living in the year of 2022, I feel like I've written it enough. It's the year 2022. Yeah, it is. Now let's just put in, I don't know, I did it that way. Am I even writing this straight? I feel like something that people don't talk about is that it's like really hard to brush letter when you're left-handed, because like pens aren't made that way. I don't know. If you have any tips, let me know. Oh, that looked nice. That looked nice. I am proud of that D. I am proud of it. So I have to figure out like how many boxes I should do. I think I'm gonna do 3 boxes. This will be tedious, but it has to be like in the middle. Ay. This was a better idea in my head. Why did I insist on doing this? Was that even 3 boxes? Yes, it was. I know how to count. I feel like the interesting thing about planning, that was crooked. That was better. Both of them were crooked. That's not right. You see, the problem with like this correction tape and then like this pen is that if I use it with this pen on top, it breaks. So I have to use another pen now to write in the things. Anyways, we'll do that in a second. I'm hoping that's right. Oh well. I feel like one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to planner content, like, is Bob Ross, in the sense of like I love his attitude when it comes to like art, and like obviously he was like an amazing artist in my opinion, like much better than I am, but I think that having a very understanding like take when it comes to making art is really helpful. I think that one of the things that like as we get older we lose is like this sense of like being okay with not being the best at everything. And like I think it's natural that like I've spent like my entire like life studying medicine and doing like the STEM world. I didn't dedicate any time or energy to like developing my art skills. Why do I think I'm gonna be freaking Pablo Picasso here? Yeah, like I think that obviously like now I practice a bit more and like I try, but I don't think it's fair to hold myself to that standard, and I don't think you should as well. Maybe someone commented like, this is ugly, but you know, to each their own. Okay, so I think for here I'll just like make it kind of like a really small one. But between these, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did not do that right. Anyways, so let's just do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since I have to like draw the bottom one a bit more, I'm just gonna do that off camera. Or should I do it on camera? Because that's what you came here for. I don't know, I'll do it on camera. Ay, ay, ay. Oh well, we kind of will just wing it. That was not equal. Like this one is like super wonky, but I think it's kind of a representative of the end of the year for me. I just like run out of fucks to give. Guys. Yeah, this one was super wonky, so just like forgive me. Oh no, this was horrible. I need to redo this whole one. Like, it wasn't just wonky, it was bad. I hate when this happens. Okay, so it needs to end right here. Now I don't know how many. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, so it needs to end like here. I definitely made a mistake somewhere, but I don't care. Let's just try our best. This is just like a metaphor at this point. Am I even on the camera? I don't know. Let's like extend this a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna count how many are between these and then just put it somewhere in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Story. I was in an interview today and the person that was interviewing me asked me, they were like, on your application you wrote that you enjoy Sarah J Maas. I have to count how many boxes this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Like in the middle here. Okay, now I have to delete. I have to erase those lines, and I don't know like where I have a big eraser, so I just have to look for some small eraser. Anyways, so my interviewer was asking me, like, he was like, oh, on your application you wrote that like you like Sarah J Maas because like on these residency applications you write what like your interests are. And I was like, yeah, she's one of my favorite authors, blah blah blah. And he was like, I actually read a Court of Thorns and Roses, and I have like A Court of Mist and Fury on my night table right now, and I haven't read it yet, and I haven't felt like reading it. And I was like, oh my god, really? And like this is like a, like I would say like probably like in his like late 30s, like male doctor. And I was really surprised, but also like really excited. And then like we basically just talked about books the entire time. But yeah, it was nice. And I had to tell him how, like, honestly, I feel like when I first read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I was like, oh, my favorite one is A Court of Mist and Fury. I think as time has gone on, I have developed an appreciation for A Court of War. What is it? A Court of Wings and Ruin. Not War. It's just War. And obviously, I like my favorite one is Apocryph, but I kind of consider that a separate. Oh no, a separate thing. This would be like a good time to have like a vacuum, like a table vacuum, but I don't have that. I'm running on a very watered down iced coffee and a dream, baby. Looks good in my opinion. I'll fill it out once I fill, where is it? This out. This out. And then, yeah. So this spread, I'm just gonna like write over it and kind of explain what's going on here because I feel like it's kind of an odd spread. But today, the day I'm filming this, came out maybe yesterday it was, but the Goodreads fantasy winners came out, and like I was really surprised. I'm not someone that votes in the Goodreads nominations for best book unless I've read the book, and I found out that people vote in these just because it's their favorite author, or they vote against an author they don't like. And I'm gonna be honest, like it was just a popularity contest at this point. Like there were some books that like have been on my TBR. Meh. I have to focus. Give me a second. Let's pretend that's how you write nominees. If I'm wrong, don't tell me. 20, 22. I'm telling you, 2s are the most difficult number to write. But I was so surprised about House of Sky and Breath winning because like I understand Sarah J Maas is very popular, and like I literally just was talking about how like she's like one of my favorite authors, but like I hated. Ricardo, be quiet! I'm filming!
Sorry. I'll close the door.
So I was really surprised by Sarah J Maas winning, mostly because I did not think House of Sky and Breath was that good. So I am kind of making it like a point of writing it in here so I can kind of take some time next year and try to get through these books and kind of make my own list of my winners because there was a lot of books here that sounded really good. I've only read from the winners this year, House of Sky and Breath and Atlas 6. I did not like Atlas 6. And also, I personally don't think it should have been nominated since it was a book that was released before and it was re-released this year. I think that that's like not very fair because like it's already a book that has an established fan base, but also like it didn't win. So obviously like I'm not gonna read the books that I haven't like read the series. Like I did not like From Blood and Ash when I read it, so I will not be reading A War of Two Queens, just putting that out there in case you were wondering. But yeah, I was very surprised. So like this is kind of like my own like challenge, and I'm like sweating. Things are getting serious. I feel like I don't put on my air conditioning because then it makes a lot of noise. But I'm gonna continue writing this in. This is like a weird name for a book. The Very Society of Irregular Witches. If you've read any of these books and like you have an opinion on them, let me know. I hold my pen in a like what's called like a death grip. No one ever corrected me and it makes me sad. I'll continue writing this later because like my pen hurts. But yeah, I'll just keep them on a sticky note until I finish them all and then I'll rank them eventually. Okay, now this is the fun part. In case you don't know, I host a book club with Tori from Tori Between Pages and Sarah from Sarah Lorraine Reads. And our book for December is Magnolia Parks. This was actually a book that I had picked up and I ended up putting it down. And I don't know whether it was like because I didn't like it or because I just picked it up in the wrong time, but I have a couple of stickers. And what I like to do, since it is a book club book, I usually do this just like in my planner, especially last year, but I'm gonna make sure that I can have notes and like especially for the live show of things I want to discuss. So let me clean this up a bit. But also, right now, I'm reading Game of Thrones, which I do really, really like. And I'm trying to organize it so it looks nice, not too cluttered. No. This cannot go up here. So, in case you don't know, Magnolia Parks is about this, like, really dysfunctional relationship between this girl and this guy. That they're, like, really rich people that are, like, sons of famous people. And they have problems. So maybe I'll put it like this. Should I cut this a bit more? Because I need this on this side. So I can't put this on this side because then it looks like very unbalanced. We'll put this in here. I think what I'll do is I'll cut this so that it gives me a bit more space to write. This is all like pictures from Pinterest. I'm not really sure of like the rules of like pasting stuff on my like bullet journal. If like, let me know if I have to like credit them if I'm posting this online. But yeah, this was just like when I searched Magnolia Park's aesthetic, these are the quotes that came up. And yeah, I actually haven't like started reading it yet, but I want to have it prepared since I was like doing this page, I was like, let me just like balance out these pages with that. So I think this will look, I kind of like this on this corner, so I'm gonna put it there. Maybe I put this here. I don't know. People are obsessed with this book. A side note. I want to have that in the top corner. Maybe like that. And then I could put like the quotes that I liked around it. And then I could still see the page number, which I like to see. Comment is a boyfriend. I don't know. I like have like a hard time with like literature of people that are sad. I think life is sad enough for us like not to be sad in real life. But I also think that like for a lot of people reading can be very cathartic. So I also like I acknowledge this and like, well, like, you know, different strokes for different folks. But life will break your heart enough. You don't have to go breaking it through literature. I think that looks nice. You know what? For this one, I am going to get my stamps. I'll link these down below in case you want them. Sigh. So my camera died as I was filling this spread out, and I really didn't realize it until like basically I finished the rest of my spreads, or I haven't finished them, but like I was getting there. So I'm just gonna walk you through all of the spreads so far that I made. I finished this Magnolia Parks one. I finished this Game of Thrones one, A Song of Ice and Fire. I am reading this series right now and I'm really excited for it. I feel like after kind of watching House of the Dragon, I felt like a lot more excited to read Game of Thrones. I made mistakes in this. If I could do this again, I would try to make my eye a little bit higher. I wouldn't have put a J instead of a T. And I would have made this like a little bit to the side. But overall, I was really impressed by my cutting skills when I cut out this dragon. And you know, like just point out the nice things. And then so this spread, I made it so that I can kind of make notes on my interviews. I've already had a couple, thank God. But I have them kind of like my notes dispersed in my last year notebook. And by notebook, I mean my cousin and this book. So I just want them all in one place, and so that I can reference this, especially since Match, and by the way, a lot of people did not know what Match is, and I don't expect you to. Match is this very special time in a woman's life. No, just kidding. It is a time in medical school when you are in the United States and you're looking to get a residency. You have to apply through what's called the Match, and the Match kind of is a service that after you interview at various places that you applied to, you rank your favorites and they rank their favorite candidates, and supposedly it's to make sure that you get your first choice and they get their first choice and everyone's happy and you get to a place that you really like. It's really competitive. I applied to a competitive specialty and I'm like really nervous about it, but you know, life always works out the way it's supposed to. I think my grandma always used to say, la vida es perfecta, which means life is perfect. And I think, you know what? I did not know what my quote was going to be for 2023, but I think that's going to be it. La vida es perfecta. But yeah, this is what I'm using this. I divided into two because I applied to preliminary years and transitional years as well as my advanced specialty. So that's going to be filled out in private because that's my business. And then I left two spreads in blank just so that I can use them for continuing to write in December. And this is also like the reason why I knew I was not going to be able to just use this book for the year of 2023 as like a journal, because like I'm already using it a lot for like keeping track of things and just like kind of more bullet journal-y, that like I knew I was going to finish it really fast. And since this is the full year, I didn't want to finish it very fast. Maybe next year, depending on the amount of pages that it has on the back, I'll get the half year if I end up getting this planner again. Now I know what my quote's going to be, and I'm going to use my One of my favorite colors. Oh no, but this has a green in it. So what green would look nice with that? Ah, good. They gave me the sample paper. No, this green, no. This green, yes. I kind of liked what I did with the winter is coming, so I'm just going to do it again. This is a quote, so I'll use this one. That's also something I don't like. It's not like super flat, so sometimes like if you press too hard, it will come up. I always like try to tell myself this when I'm feeling like very fatalistic about my future. It's very nerve-wracking. If you know a medical student that's like going through this, like go give them a hug. It's like really hard to like live with this kind of uncertainty. And I feel like the thing is that like it's like kind of like this thing where you see like, did all that I worked through like pay off? And like that's like a very toxic way to think about it in my opinion, just because like you could have done everything right, and just because the stars like didn't align the way that they were supposed to, you don't match. And like that happens to a lot of people, and it's totally fine, but you have to like always like think about the positives in all these situations. Give yourself the grace to like kind of let go. And that's kind of like what I've been dealing with this past couple of months, of just like learning that like some things are just like not in my control, no matter how much I wish they were. And like I just need to like stop caring. And like I think that's why like I've had just like, I feel like I've like don't even remember the last couple months, because that's a Q again. QRS. I always have to sing the alphabet. I think that looks nice. Maybe I'll put something else on this page. This page, oh, I ran out of breath. This page kind of feels like a bit empty, but like I think so far, very nice. I need to put the end of the quotation though. Maybe I'll put another quote on the other side. But like, you know, I feel like one of the things that I've like realized like as I've been doing this video is that like since I'm not used to like filming, I like don't prepare all my materials before like sitting down to do this. Oh no, I bent it with my hand. Ay, ay, ay. So the next thing that I'm going to set up is my bookshelf. And once again, I'm going to be using the stamps because I like how it looks. You know, since this is like greenish, I'll just continue with the green. That was ugly. It's fine. I'll write in the bottom. This is actually one of the few that has the number still. It's 192. I think I got this one and a lot of the ones that I use in the pack called the Cottagecore pack. I'll link it below in case you're wondering. Where is my fan? It's fine. This is a D. Oh no. I might not have given myself enough space. Oh, this looks very nice. I like how that looks. I drew this line already, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the date here. And this is like kind of like when you would go to the library as a kid, like they would put this down like bam, bam, bam. Maybe they still do that in like modern libraries. I just haven't gone to a library in a long time in person. Not because I don't want to, but because there's none in Puerto Rico. So bam, 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 you know? So I made it big enough for that, and that'll be the date. Date red. And then for this part, I'm just going to put the book and the author. I originally was thinking of doing the rating, but I decided, no, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing the rating because I can't draw stars. I realized that after I made like that row. I can't draw stars, so I'm going to end up just having to write 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's kind of how it's going to look. I wish I used the word title. For this line and for the title name, I used a micron 8 and then I put 7 out. Did I count right? Sometimes I wonder. No, it was not 7. Excellent. Okay, now here, oh, I'm going to do a series tracker here, and I've started writing the series that I'm in the middle of and I can't. I'm not finished. I don't think I'll fill that out today because I don't feel like it, but I will make the title. Oof, how do I write this? Ay, 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 I wish I would have done this first, but now that's wet. Oh well, I'll have to wait. and I'm not gonna do it. Maybe I'll just like outline it with the fine tip. During like 2001 and 2022, I started my booktube channel in 2022, and that's kind of when I realized I had a lot of series that I had not finished, and I feel like I spent the last 2 years kind of catching up on all the books that I hadn't finished before. And so like now I'm so ready to start new books and new series that have come out since I stopped reading like before college. Because like the thing is, like, so much time had passed, I had to like pick up the entire like series again. I'm excited that I can actually like, you know, start fresh, read new things. This is very tedious. Sometimes I really regret that I do this. And it's also not centered. But you know, if I don't look at it, it won't bother me. Like, it's fine. It's fine. The series that I have in progress right now, I have to finish Kingdom Vash. It's the last book in the Throne of Glass series, and like the last Sarah J Maas book that I have not read. Heroes of Olympus, I've been reading Son of Neptune since July. Sarah, if you see this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mistborn, I started this year and I haven't been able to finish it. Game of Thrones, I started, obviously, like I showed here. I started it, but I'm kind of catching up. I read Clash of Kings and Game of Thrones, but I wanted to like finish it and like read a not Dance with Dragons. I don't know what the 5th book is called, but I want to get to it. Jade Saga, I started it. I have not finished it. An Ember in the Ashes, I started it. I have not finished it. The Poppy War, I'm only missing the last book. And Dune, I also started it recently and I haven't finished. Also, let me just add in here A Wheel of Time. Oh, I think it's The Wheel of Time. So how I'm gonna organize this, just like in case I don't put later, but it's gonna be like writing Throne of Glass series and then write all the books and leave the ones I have not read highlighted in. Now for this one, this is actually a story that I put up, and it is a template that is by Notes from Literature on Instagram. I'll link them down below in case you're looking for something like this too. And this is 12 months to read 12 books recommended by 12 friends. So many people have recommended all of these books to me, and I'm really excited to get to them. So I really wanted to have it here so it can remind me that I have to read these books, because like, you know, last year I did this, I filled out something like this and I didn't actually end up using it and like actually end up reading all those books. So I don't like all of this like blank space at the bottom, so I'm just going to cut it off so I don't forget. I will like leave the fact that the template is on the bottom, especially like if I show my planner again. I don't want to like plagiarize. I don't want her to think I stole it, but it is from Notes from Literature Instagram. Karma is my boyfriend. Never plagiarize. Oh no, my hands were dirty. Ay, ay, ay. And let's put this up here. I think like in the middle maybe. Try not to touch it so much. Let me just touch it here so I get all of the excess ink off my fingers. Where no one can see it. Oh, okay. This is going to be another ranking page, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. And this is the books I want to get to in 2023, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. But I do have so far The Stolen Heir, Addie LaRue, Legend Board, Babel. And then this is going to be my January spread. You're going to have to like see it. I'll definitely show these pages once I do them, but I'm already tired and I don't want to do any more. So thank you so much for coming to this really chaotic video. I'm sorry that it's so messy. It's not my intention. I just like, this is for fun and I'm not gonna get too like stressed out about it right now. Let me know if you want to see how these ones end up and like my January spread ends up. I will film my hobonichi cousin setting it up. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!